All right, here we go. One thing here. Who here has gotten an actionable takeaway here today? An actionable takeaway. Okay, great. If not now, when? If not now, when? When will you implement this in your business? If not now, when? Be present. Be a little bit more zen. And then you won't have to write out your 5-year goals because you'll be taking care of what you need to take care of when the time comes up. The best chess player that ever lived had over 30 chess matches going at once against other chess champions. He beat all of these different chess champions not by thinking 20 moves in advance, not by thinking 30 moves in advance, but by thinking about the next best move, one move at a time. We know what we need to do. A lot of times we just aren't doing it. Somebody that I can imagine probably doesn't have that problem a whole heck of a lot is our next speaker. You don't get to be number one at Keller Williams for 7 years on accident. I'm excited to sit back and watch Tom Daves talk about how he and his team have sold over 7,000 homes, making him the number one agent at Keller Williams for 7 years. You think that this guy might have some information to pass on? Tom Daves, everybody.
All right, thank you. Thank you, everybody. How's everyone doing? Awesome. Okay, we're going to do something that we do in our scripts class. Everybody stand up. Everybody needs to stand up right now, right? Okay. One of the things that we do before we start calling people and talking to people, just to get our blood flowing, to get things going a little bit, is we laugh as hard as we can for 30 seconds. So right now, everybody, where you are, let's hear you laugh for 30 seconds. Go! Okay, thank you. Everybody have a seat. Did that kind of get your blood going, get things started? All right. I wasn't planning on doing that until I just popped up here. So if you had one day to live, what would you do? Just think about that just for a minute. One day. So we start, and I start my goals and think about that because I went to a great coaching seminar years ago, and the teacher started with that. If you have one day left to live, what would you do? Who would you spend time with? What would your priorities be? And what would your life look like? Well, you know what's really the truth of the matter is our lives shouldn't really be all that different, and our perspectives and our priorities shouldn't be really all that different right now, correct? You know, of course, we think about our big why, our family. Who would we spend time? My why is spend time with my God, my family, my health, my organization, my community. So we think about our big why, right? And so a great quote is to live each day like it's your last day, right? I mean, leave it all on the field, right? Live each day to the fullest. And so I know we're talking about real estate. This is a business clinic today, but we have to keep those things in mind, and we have to look at things from a 30,000-foot level. So as far as business, if there were 3 things that I could tell you that would determine your success, do you think those 3 things would be important? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so these are going to be my 3 talking points. So number 1 is the way that you think and your mindset. That's number 1. It's the way you think and your mindset. And then number 2 is how you manage your time. And how disciplined are you? How do you manage your time? And then number 3 is who do you spend your time with? Who are you around? That's number 3. So the first is our mindset and the way that we think. And I'm constantly trying to grow my mindset, think bigger and outside of the box, and then think bigger than that, right? And we've heard these things. So mindset is, and cultivating a growth mindset will improve your ability to succeed. It will improve your ability to communicate, to motivate. It will help your productivity. It affects how you lead, how you manage, and how you show up, right? So, and that's why we're all here today, right? I mean, we all want to improve. We want to grow, want to get better. We want to crush it next year and deliver exceptional results and help others, right? So, one of my friends, I used to be his mentor, but now he's my mentor. Tyler, one of my mentors is Tyler Smith. You guys know Tyler Smith? He runs SkySlope. You guys heard of SkySlope, right? Okay, so, he gave me a book about a year ago. If any of you guys have heard of Jesse Itzler, so this is Living with a Seal for 31 Days. It's Jesse Itzler. So Jesse Itzler he's a billionaire. He was an athlete that would run ultramarathons, and he was at an ultramarathon event, and he was doing the relay version of a 24-hour event, and there was this amazing, chiseled athlete that was doing the 24-hour event. His name is David Goggins. He was a Navy SEAL. And so Jesse Itzler went up to him at the end of the event, and he said, "Will you come and coach me and train me? I want to get better." And David Goggins said, "No way. No, you're not tough enough. You're not strong enough. Not going to coach you, not going to train you." He's like, "I'll do anything. What can I do?" And he said, "The only way I'm going to do it is if I come and live with you for 31 days and you do exactly what I say." He says, "Okay, I'll do it." So Jesse Itzler is married. His wife's name is Sarah Blakely. Anyone ever, you ladies, heard of Spanx? Yeah, that's his wife. She was the youngest billionaire female, right? So they go to his house, and the first day, they wake up at 4 a.m., and David says to Jesse, "Okay, we're going to get up. We're going to run 10K. So they go out, and it's cold. They're in Manhattan. I mean, it was in the winter. It was cold. We're going to run. We're going to do it. So they got out. They did a 10K, and they said, "Let's go to the gym." They went to the gym. And he said, "Give me 100 pull-ups." I don't know about you, but I can't. I'm not going to do. I could do 6, maybe, right? So the same way with Jesse. He said, "I can't do 100 pull-ups." He said, "Well, we're going to be here a long day, aren't we?" So he did. It took him about 8 hours to do 100 pull-ups. He started off with 8, then he did 5, and then he got down to 1. So the whole theme of this is there's more in our reserve tank than we really know. So for all of us and for myself, there's more in our reserve tank. When you think you're done, you're only 50% there. There's still more left. So, and then one of the things that, actually Tyler Smith, I texted him this morning, and I said, "Hey, are you going to be around Roseville or Rockland? Why don't you come by? I'm going to drop your name." And he said, "I just happen to be in South Africa right now with my family for Christmas," right? So I think he's doing okay. But one of the things that, one of the classes that I'm attending is by Jesse Itzler, and it's about your life resume. And we think about our life resume, and there's 7 things that actually made a difference for Jesse and that are making a difference in my life. So the first thing is you have to really, really want it. You can't just say that you want it. You have to really, really want it and have a big why. And then number 2 is we have to respect the process. No matter what we're doing, whether it's business, life, we have to really respect the process because things take time. I do the death ride every year. It's a big ride that Don Yoakum got me started in. It's up in Lake Tahoe area, and it's 129 miles, 16,000 feet of climbing. Go over 5 different mountain passes. So when you're training for that, you're not really respecting the process. You're like, oh my gosh, this is tough. But if you think about success, the best goal that I've found is that the best definition is success is the pursuit of a worthwhile goal. And I'm sure you've heard that. And even Cervantes wrote, clear back in the 1500s, the road is better than the inn. We're actually at our best when we're serving, when we're climbing, when we're thinking, when we're working on that road to something that we really want and that's really significant. So we're actually at our best. So as far as me, I'm never retiring. 63 years old now, love what I do, love serving, and that's when we're really at our best. So respect the process. Number 3 is make yourself proud. Strive to be the very best version of you. Do something every day that makes you proud. You don't want to hit your head on the pillow at night and say, oh, I just gave my 80% today, you know. You want to give 110%. Now, this is where the real fire starts to happen, is number 4, how you do anything is how you do everything. The small things that you do are indications of what you're becoming. So what I took from that is, you know, when you're walking by some litter, pick it up. When you're with someone, give them your undivided attention. When, you know, you help a lady cross the street, whatever, always make sure that you do the right thing. And Henry Longfellow says, it takes less time to do something right than to explain how you did it wrong, right? You guys heard that one? Okay, here we go. Number 5 is build the machine. Think of yourself, he says, think of yourself as a machine. Your mind, your body, it's no longer a mind and it's no longer a body. It's a machine. When you're working out, I'm building my muscle machine. When you're, you know, walking the lady across the street, you're building your serving machine. When you're in traffic and you're pretty on Highway 65, right? You're building your patience machine, right? So, and then also, you know, one of the things to say is the machine is getting stronger. This morning I was doing repeats on my bike, lived near a hill. I was just saying the machine is getting stronger. The machine is getting stronger. Number 6 is remember tomorrow. When you have a split decision to make, remember tomorrow. The decisions that you make today will definitely affect what happens in your life tomorrow. So if you don't do your morning, you know, I have a morning routine that I do every morning. Get up, read the Bible, pray, journal, work out. How will I feel tomorrow? How will I feel tomorrow if I don't do that? If I don't make my calls today, how will I feel tomorrow? If I eat and drink too much tonight, right? How am I going to feel tomorrow? So it's just, how will you feel tomorrow? And then number 7 is, and this is fun, flip it to excitement. So instead of I have to, I get to. You know, when I take out the trash, how do I make it fun? When I'm sending emails, how do I make it more fun? How do I flip it to excitement? When I'm sending email, when I'm working with buyers, sellers, I've been in the business for 40 years, and so that's really a great thing to remember. How do I flip it to excitement and just mix it up, have fun? Like, you know, I thought it was pretty cool. We all stood up and we laughed, you know. Make it fun. Life is too short to just be boring, right? So that's number 1, is how you think and your mindset. Okay, so that's the first. And then the second talking point is how you manage your time. And so this ties into our topics today and how we manage our time in real estate. So I use what's called a 135, a GPS. Okay, so thanks. So this is the 135. So basically what this is it's called the GPS. How many of you have a GPS in your car or on your phone now, right? Any of you remember the Thomas Brothers map? Anybody? Woo, right? Okay. So a GPS is a global positioning system, right? Or this particular GPS stands for goals, priorities, and strategies, okay? And I'll have one of these available on my Facebook, okay? So you can just go to Tom Day's Team Facebook. We'll have one of these for you. Or you can just Google 135 and Boomtown has them. So anyway, and it stands for 1 goal, 3 priorities, and then 5 strategies. So if we have our one main goal is 100 plus closings, then we would have as an example 3 strategies to achieve this goal. And so, for example, we have open house. We talked about that today. We also have database, and we also have prospecting. So one thing to remember is that you need to align yourself with types of activities that align with yourself, okay? So, for example, myself, I have had different type of activities in businesses, and truth be told, I have fallen into the realm of only having one bucket of business through the years. You know, I've done flips, and that was all I did. I did REOs, that was all I did. Worked for Blackstone Private Equity, that was all I did. Your business is far more sustainable if you have at least 3 buckets of business. These are 3 great ones that we have right here. And then your business is going to be sustainable. So, and then once we determine what our buckets of business are, then that's going to determine your schedule. That's going to determine what you need to carve out time for. And then that's what we have to really be disciplined to foster. And I love Jim Rohn's quote that discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. You think of all successful people, whether they're a business person, a sports athlete, man, they're determined. I mean, if you think of that, they're disciplined. And the schedule, your schedule is the foundation of your business. So make sure that you align your goals and your strategy and your priorities with your schedule. So, okay, so here, these are the 5 tactics for each strategy. So we have the open houses, and I recommend to hit at least 100 closings a year. These are the activities that you will need to have, okay? So for open houses, 2 a week, and then when you hold those open houses, knock on 100 doors, and then follow the open house system, which I will go through in a moment, and add your contacts to your database, and then have scripts and dialogues, and have your, what you say, make sure that you say the correct things to improve your conversion. So then with the database, that's the second. I recommend a 44 touch, and we'll go through that in a minute. And then 10 contacts a day, phone calls quarterly, client events, and then add 20 contacts to your database each week. And then we have with the whatever line of business, you know, if you, I just use for sale by owners, expireds, you know, implement a for sale by owner expired touch plan, 10 circle contacts a day, and then scripts and dialogues. And then also I recommend to teach a class. That's one of the best ways that we grow is to teach, okay? So if we could go to the open house, please. Okay, so now we'll go through the open house guide. So, and again, this is, I'm going to put this on my Tom Day's Team Facebook so you guys can have it. If you don't, just text me your email address and I'll send it to you. Anyway, so why open houses? Basically, open houses are free. They're free sources of business, and we can create and obtain so much business from it. It's the best way of getting in front of new buyers, best way of getting in front of new sellers, get name recognition in the area, and they're excellent leads. And basically, the statistics are there's a 10% conversion rate with open houses. So I recommend with the 2 open houses each week, you're going to have a total of 29 transactions at the end of the year. And then our open house system. So basically with the open house system, at the beginning of the week, pick your open house and then go and door knock that neighborhood 100 doors. And then call through the neighborhood. You know, we use a Mojo dialing system. You know, I'm sure that there's systems available to call through the neighborhood. And then go, of course, post it online, MLS, Zillow, Craigslist, whatever. And then the day of the open house, make sure that you have at least 15 to 20 open house signs. Some agents will just put up maybe 4 signs. It's not going to differentiate you from the rest. But if you have 15 to 20 signs, even if you have to put 4 or 5 signs up in a row, people are going to say, what's going on? I'm going to go check this house out. So make sure you put up a lot of signs. And then I recommend putting up a small table at the door, the front door, about 4 feet from the door when they come in. So you're somewhat of the gatekeeper. So when someone comes in, hi, great, nice to meet you. Tom Daves, please sign in the guest list, guest sheet. And on that table, we have, of course, the sign-in sheet, information about the home, and then also another, are we at 30 minutes? Okay. And then we also have a little sheet that says, don't forget to ask about our properties that are not yet listed. And then allow them to go through the home, take a look, kind of maybe give them a few tips about the home, of course. And then when they come back, first question to ask them is, would you like to buy the home? A lot of you guys, you know, some people are kind of surprised to be that bold, but what that does is it kind of puts them in a funnel, so to speak, the conversation in a funnel. Would you like to buy the home, right? I would just try it. Next time, I'd like to hear some feedback. Would you like to buy the home? What are they going to say? They're going to say, oh, no, this is just the 3-bedroom. We want a 5-bedroom. Oh, great. Well, we should meet. When is a good time to meet so we can show you all the 5-bedroom homes? Are weekdays or weekends better? So if you start with that line of conversation, then it's going to get you to an appointment. And like someone said, you know, Marguerite, you know, I would never, ever be a jump and run realtor. Okay, we'd like to see this home over on Main Street. Jump and run, I'll be there. You know, buyer consultations, you know, we're professionals, and we need to have a buyer consultation for, really for four reasons. Number one is needs analysis. We really want to find out what they're looking for and how we can help them. Number two is value proposition. Let them know what how we can help them and serve them. What's our value proposition? Number three, sign the buyer agreement, right? Sign the contract. And then number four is expectations. Just to share with them the expectations of the market. Right now, you can't come in with a lowball offer and those types of things. So that's a little bit about the consultation. So that is, that is the open house process and the system. But really the key, and I know Marguerite and a few others have mentioned, the fortune is in the follow-up. So after an open house, call them, text them, email them that afternoon, that evening, because if they go through your open house, you know they're going through other agents' open houses also. So over-communicate. Continue to email them, contact them, text them right away, immediately. And then the same thing the next day. And I've heard agents say, oh, yeah, well, I called them and left a message. I haven't heard back from them yet. Well, you need to just be in touch with them, blow up their phone, okay? You should call them, text them, email them until they tell you, please don't call me, text me, or email me anymore. Why are we afraid of a stranger? Now if someone in our family or our wife or husband said, don't bug me, you're pissing me off, then it could hurt our feelings, right? But if it's a stranger that says, don't call me, who cares, right? So the follow-up is the key. So if I can find it, we will have the top 10 mistakes that agents make with follow-up. And the first one is to have a bulletproof follow-up system. It doesn't matter which one you use. The key is just to pick one and use it, okay? And then mistake number 2 with follow-up is you wait too long. For example, they say to call back in 2 months, so don't call back in 2 months. Call them back. If they say 2 months, always cut it in half. If they say 2 months, call them back in a month. If they say 2 weeks, call them back in a week. Cut it in half and never let more than 30 days go by without contact. So you wait too long. Then, number 3 is you assume the client receives the information. You send them an email, you send them a text, you send them a voicemail. Never, ever assume that they receive the information. It's a great opportunity after you send them an email. It's a great opportunity to call them back and confirm they got it. Number 3 is email is not communication. I don't know of anyone that bought a home because you crafted an amazing email, right? So they're not going to hire you because of a great email. It's a great tool for communication, but it's not communication. Number 5 is we give up on the lead too soon. We call them, text them, and then all of a sudden, well, I'm just going to throw this away. They didn't call me back. So don't give up on the lead too soon. And texting is, actually, I have a little statistic on texting. 328% of our leads are more likely to convert when you text them at least 3 times. So I don't know about you guys, but aren't you more apt to respond to a text than email? So it's another thing to keep in mind. Number 6 is we don't act on our own intuition. We need to trust our gut, trust your intuition. When you feel that you need to call someone, follow up, trust your gut. We don't act on our own intuition. Number 7 is we project our emotions on them. Oh, I'm being too pushy. I better wait. Don't project your your emotions on them. Number 8 is we verbally vomit, right? We call them, text. We finally get hold of them, and then we do the dump truck, right? Oh, yeah, this house is amazing. It's wonderful. I have an amazing marketing plan, and just, we verbally vomit. Don't, make sure that you ask great questions and stick to your script and stay on track. Number 9 is we don't ask when would be a great time to follow up. We always need to ask when would be a great time to follow up. If you meet with someone and you don't ask them, or if you don't set another appointment, then that's a fumble. Number 10 is we don't set proper expectations. We need to let them know what's going to happen next. This is the first home they've ever bought. It's probably the first or the second home that they listed. We know what's going to happen next. They don't. We need to tell them, okay, this is what's going to happen next. And then actually as a bonus, we have, remember, we are the professionals, not the other way around. We know what we're doing. we're the professionals, and we need to help them and guide them through this process. So there you have the top 10, the top 11 mistakes that agents make for follow-up. Okay, so now we have the third talking point, and this one is, as I mentioned, who you spend time with, right? So who we're in business with, who we spend time with, and of course, I'm sure that you've heard Jim Rohn again, you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And, you know, we're greatly influenced by who we're with, who we spend time with. You know, make sure that they're supportive, they're positive, they're, you know, there's a climate of collaboration, right? And this brings me to accountability partner. So if you could double your chances of success by doing one thing, do you think that would be a good thing to do? Yeah. And that is having an accountability partner. Whatever it is, you know, whether it's working out, whether it's sports, whether it's your business, have an accountability partner. It's really helped me immensely. I have, you know, nutrition, you know, sports, my pastor's my mentor, you know, business. It's kind of overkill a little bit, but accountability is huge. I'm sure a lot of you can really relate. So, you know, brings me to our time, who we spend time with. It's our most precious commodity that we have, especially this time of year. It's, you know, Christmas, it's holidays. You know, love others, spend time with others, and think about that. If you only had one day left to live, what would you do?